Ethan, good to have you on here, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jacob. I am really happy to talk to you.
That will change in about an hour, but you know what? I'm glad that we're starting off positive. Uh, you know,
Okay.
you're currently playing in X Pilots, Gaadge, Barlow, and Sober Clones. Did I miss any?
Yeah, that's the gist. I also drum in a band called Nasty Nancy. It's a hardcore band. The drummer in Sober Clones, Devin, he's a wizard. He writes and records everything for Nasty Nancy, and it's really awesome to just be like, hey, we got a show coming up. Here's the set list, and it's like cool. I don't have to write anything. I just learn the songs, and it's awesome.
That
Uh,
is awesome. But
yeah.
I mean that is a lot of projects kind of be juggling there. Why so many?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know, man. I like at 31, I'm like asking myself that question more and more. They're all pretty, all of us are pretty long standing. If I never join another band, I'll be happy, I think. Just like keep the ones as established going as long as possible. Cause it's just like, kind of like, I don't know, like, cause Barlow, we started when I was 16 and we had so much more time then to do, I mean, literally everything. So now it's just like, I have to somehow like work and do all this and work on the house and boring stuff that comes with being 31 or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I would say X Pilots is the main one. Sober Clone's been more active recently. We kind of had like a dormant period where we just had way too many ideas we had to whittle down. Um Gaadge is another one where I do write for Gaadge, but not much. I kind of just show up and Mitch and Nick and Andy write most of the stuff, and I just do the drums in that. So that's easy too. Um, Barlow that's the longest running one. It's kind of on pause at the moment. The focus kind of I had on that is currently like just like poured in X Pilots. That's kind of my um like longest standing second longest standing project, and that's just my main focus. Has been for the past few years, and I don't see that changing.
Not really that busy. I understand, Ethan.
Yeah,
Did you
right. Yeah. Rub it in, dude.
did you always have the intention of being in multiple bands, or was this just something that just kept on developing throughout the years?
I think when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna say yes to everything. Um, Now it's like I really do want to like it, like the idea of starting like a new band with new people is cool. But it would just be like hell on like my brain and body, I think, if I was to try to be in uh more than the bands I'm in right now. But I don't know, man. I think that when I was a kid, I again, I just said yes to everything, and the ones that stuck are the ones that I'm still in. And it's comfortable, you know. It's like still the most exciting thing I do in my life. And I hope that never changes. I'm sure it won't, unless discover like I love fly fishing or some stupid thing. But
It's possible.
yeah, I guess, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. I just it. I will say like just adding one more thing I think would be like a straw on the camel's back. So just keeping everything we've got right now afloat. We've all got things in the works with all of those. So I'm yeah. Yeah, I'm spread thin, but like at this point it's comfortable.
How did this wheel begin turning, if it, as it were?
Um I don't know. I was my grandpa is like a he's like a he was like in like local bands where he was living. But I would say mainly like a hobby, like recording artist primarily. And so I grew up around like, he had like an 8 track, like Roland Daw when I was a little kid, and he eventually upgraded to a 16 track, and he just gave it to me when I was like 8 or 9.
Wow.
And I have always loved the idea of just like I don't know, making uh songs, albums. I was obsessed with just like making as many albums as possible when I was a kid. So it really like, aside from like recording on like sound recorder on my like family computer when I was a little kid, that was the start of it when I got my first uh 8-track DAW. It ran on zip disks. It was like it was like 100 megs each. So it's like if the song was 4 minutes, it would just like I'd just be like, well, I guess that's it. That's the end of the song because it's 100 megabytes. But then I don't know. I just after that I just tried to upgrade as I was able to. Mainly just like Audacity and like the free version of Cubase on the family computer and stuff. I got super into like bands like Guided by Voices, and like Sebado, uh, Pavement, stuff like that when I was like 14 and 15. So I sought out a 4-track cassette recorder, like is pretty much immediately on going down that rabbit hole, and I finally did find a Korg CR4 at let me show it to you. I've still got it. It doesn't
Please,
work.
yeah.
Doesn't work at all anymore, but this is my first 4-track, and it I don't know if you probably didn't know Korg made 4-tracks because like nobody knows that.
I know
Um
now though.
yeah, right. Well, the crazy thing is too, this is I think I bet I'm wrong, and I bet one of your listeners is going to be like, that stupid idiot. I think that this is from 2005, which is like really late for like making a 4-track, I think.
It
Or
seems
like,
like it's not in the era that it should be, that's for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, vinyl was in like a slump in 2005 too, I think. So like probably all analog media was, if I had to guess. But I started recording on that, and pretty much from there, I've just been honing this one specific sound. Uh, it took me forever to figure out like what kind of music I was trying to make. I grew up on like Third Eye Blind and like Everclear, and like uh, I don't know, like Semisonic. So a lot of the very first stuff I was making was like really, really, really ramshackle, like little kid trying to make like AOR kind of stuff. Uh, without realizing like how weird that was. But I don't know. That 4-track actually, the Korg CR4 like really helped shape the sound that I've been like chipping away at for half my life at this point. It's got a bunch of cool onboard effects on it. Um, I got it for $20 because it was at a thrift store in 2011 or 2010. But you can still get it. I think they're cheap, but they're really rare. Like you'll only find one on eBay like once every like few months, but it only goes for like $300, which I think nowadays that's pretty cheap
You're
for a four
right.
track,
Right,
which is
of course,
crazy,
yeah, of
crazy to think
course.
about. But yeah, I guess from there I've just been trying to whittle down a certain sound. I guess the X Pilots and Barlow, the two projects I've written the most for. You could probably say just put like Guided by Voices, Husker Du, Cleaners from Venus, and 12 Rods, like in a blender, and um, that's pretty much what I strive to aim for.
Still to this day.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy how that just hasn't changed much at all. Like the stuff I'm making now kind of sort of sounds like the stuff I was making when I was like 17. It just with like slightly higher fidelity. I went from lo-fi to mid-fi, as it were, or whatever. Um, but yeah, that's the long-winded answer to that question.
No, I like it. Now, was this all occurring in Pittsburgh?
Well, so I'm from Pittsburgh. My mom got remarried when I was like 7 or 8. I forget exactly when. I relocated to Erie, PA, and that's how I met several of my friends. I wanted to move back to Pittsburgh pretty much immediately. So as soon as I was able to, I moved back to Pittsburgh with my now fiance when I was 20. And that's where I've met uh, the vast majority of our friend group is just people we met like in college, um, or just met here upon moving back. Um, but yeah, I would say the vast like the bulk of the stuff that I've like released as an adult was recorded in Pittsburgh. Yeah. And I love Pittsburgh, man. I hope I live here forever, man. I love it.
And you're part of the tourism board now, right?
No, dude, I'm too short for that. I'm 5'5". You have to be 5'7".
It's these fucking politics, you know?
I know,
It's like
dude. Yeah, yeah. Like they threw my application right. I submitted it the same day, and the first question they asked was height, and I got an email saying it was turned down 30 seconds later. So, what can you do, dude? How tall are you? Can I ask you that?
yeah, I'm not sure about the number, but people are telling me 4'11 ish. So,
Dude, we're like not that far apart, man. We're pretty close.
we're kindred spirits, Ethan.
Yeah, dude.
Um, so I mean, so do you kind of look you kind of look at Pittsburgh as like that is the place. That is where this is all stemming from, essentially, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like I said, I was born here and I spent the first 8 years of my life here. And I love the hills. I love being that close to Ohio and West Virginia. Um, and I can visit my parents back in Erie whenever I'm able to, and that's only like 2 hours away. But yeah, Pittsburgh, I've always felt like a very deep connection to. The food here is great. Um, the accents here are out of control. People call washcloths washcloths here, and it's like that. Like you made that up. Like you're forcing that. There's no way. Like why are you saying that? Nobody says washcloths. I don't know, man. It's crazy, but
I kind of like throwing a little spin on some words myself. So,
it's just like it's just like you really like you're it's like you really tried to make a new word with that one. I don't understand. I'm sure I'm wrong, but it just washcloths. Come on, dude. Like you're lying to yourself, you're lying to everybody. It's crazy. Yeah, no, I love Pittsburgh.
I've said worse cloths myself, and
Have you actually
yeah, that's
like to be funny?
I like it, but I think it's part of the vernacular at this point.
Oh,
Yes, it
sure,
started as
yeah.
a joke, but now it's in there. It's embedded.
Okay, so that's what happened with the people here, I guess. That say washcloths. That's got to be what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it stems from somewhere. Why not there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in favor of it myself. I know I might be in the, I'm not trying to be a contrarian
Oh, dude, I love
or
contrarians. I think
however they would say that
I
word.
love contrarians, and I think you're gonna have a hard time making me uncomfortable. What, like 10 minutes in this conversation? Yeah.
We got time. We got time to
Yeah.
work on it.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Fire away, dude.
So
How do you feel about like where you're at? Do you feel like a pretty strong connection to where you're from?
yes, I do. Yeah. Not yeah, yes, but that is not felt. I feel like in the community of Orange. I'm just looking at Orange County in
Sure.
general. It does not feel like there's that same sense. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't have my finger on the pulse of the area, but it
Hmm.
feels like people are just like, yeah, people like close their garages before getting out of their cars. That's the kind of area that I'm in.
Hang on a second, and like open the garage back up to leave the garage. Oh, there's a door going into the house from the garage.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, my garage is like a tiny garage. I'm just imagining myself shutting it and then opening it back up to get out. Okay. No, I got you. I got
I'm
you.
not trying to I'm not trying to chew my own horn, but in this area, we got
Oh yeah,
another
yeah, yeah, yeah,
garage.
yeah. Dude,
Um,
I love California, man.
yeah, it's great, but as with everywhere, there's nicer people and there's meaner people, and that's
Hmm.
just the way life is. But
Hmm.
you wave to people and they go like, why is this guy waving? It's like that kind of
Yeah, it sounds like Pittsburgh. Yeah.
now it becomes like it's a fun thing. It's like I'm gonna see you see me waving at you.
Yeah.
That's just a nice fun game to do.
I like that. I'm gonna see you seeing me.
Yeah,
Like
I like I like to see it.
it's like a threat.
Right. I like to throw that around when I'm visiting other people's areas that I don't live in this house or apartment, but I'm standing
Mhm.
outside of it. I'll give a nice wave
Sure.
just to spice it up.
Do they wave back?
Usually not, of course. Sometimes they do,
Man.
and then it's like I'm kind of creating this relationship with a neighbor that you have never probably seen before, and I hope that this continues when I
Hmm.
leave.
Okay.
Is
Yeah, yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah. That's a very healthy neighborly thing to do.
it's building communities, and I'm doing my part, Ethan. That's the point of this.
I salute you.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Now, getting back to Pittsburgh here. So
Yeah.
you moved back around you're 20-ish, give or take.
Yeah, it was right before I turned 21. I moved back here with my fiance. I mean, obviously girlfriend at the time. I was 20. But yeah, we've been together since. And yeah, yeah, that's yes, yeah. Yes, yep.
I like that you were reminiscing. You're like, yeah, that was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time.
yeah. I was just thinking about our first row house we rented here when we first got back.
Where
Yeah.
was the not nicest place that you've lived in, Ethan? What was the
Um,
accommodations or lack thereof that still stand out to you? From any place. It doesn't have to be in Pittsburgh. Could be
yeah. Um,
anywhere.
probably that place actually because the land it was one of those situations where it's like the landlord lived in like Florida.
Oh yeah.
So like there were like three different times where like the ring of the toilet would just like you ever see like a ceiling just like you can tell there's water coming through. It's like bulging out. That happened like three different times and they just did not care. I would say because at first it was like, oh sweet, cheap rent. This is awesome. It's a row house with a tiny yard. That's sweet. I'm 20. I'll take anything. But yeah, they hated us.
Did the bulge occur in the same place each
Yeah,
time
yeah, under the toilet.
under the toilet?
Yeah, yeah. He swore every time it was like fixed. Um, and it was just I would just send pictures to the person, and then I would get a response like the next day. Like I'll send Mike or whoever out, and he comes like 3 days later. And I'm just like, is this gonna like is like poop water gonna fall on my cat or something? Like what's gonna happen, dude? I don't know anything about toilets. That was the worst place I've lived. Yeah. But I do miss it sometimes. I miss shittier times,
Mhm.
sometimes.
Now, conversely, you own a couple pieces of property in Florida, and the cycle continues.
Yeah, and I've never visited either. I bought them because I'm 73 years old and I just like looking at them on satellite, and I'll never go there. And I will not sell them to young families. I will sell them to BlackRock, or whoever else. And yeah. Hey, this is probably obvious to everybody, but that was a joke in case you believed that. I'm not 73, but I do own two houses in Florida that I'll never go to.
It's a good transition because in post we gotta put in the sponsors, so it's
Oh,
good.
right. Okay,
Good, yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, sweet. Nice.
And
Nice.
we're probably back now, so it's which is good, yeah.
Oh, and we're back with the Vineyard.
And we're back, yeah, proudly sponsored by BlackRock.
Yes.
Uh, now when you get back to Pittsburgh, is this what is happening in the local scene when you're kind of getting back into the swing of things with music? What is occurring at that point? You got the row home, you're dealing with the bulge, but when you're not dealing with that stuff,
I'm not dealing with the bulge. Yeah.
sorry, bulges. I mean
Yeah. Multiple
recurring,
bulges. Same
multiple
spot, but yeah.
multiple.
Um, uh, I was just I don't know. I like living out of town. I had come to Pittsburgh and played a few shows, so I like knew the scene like decently well. I think the place I spent the most time at when I first moved back was the Roboto Project because I was 20. That's an all ages venue. Um, and trying to think, honestly, not that much has changed, except for the shoegaze scene here. I'm not going to say didn't exist in 2016, but it definitely kind of blew up like post COVID. I'm sure you know who like Feeble Little Horse is. I'm really, it's really cool that they were like, because I think they're 6 or 7 years younger than I am, or all of us are. And it was like when they came onto the scene, I was just like, man, this is exactly what I wished like was here like in the late 2010s. This is great. Um, and I think now, uh, and it's not just them. There's a lot of great shoegaze bands here. Blinder, uh, Velvet Overkill, um, and several others come to mind. But um, yeah, I don't know. I would say it was when I first moved back. I also I love hardcore. So the hardcore scene that hasn't changed like drastically. Like the sound, like there's a certain like Pittsburgh hardcore sound that has kind of not been lost at all in that time. Like when I first moved back here, like bands like Concealed Blade, Peace Talks, Drug Lust, uh, like amazing like hardcore bands. And what I mean when I say hardcore, it's like 80s New York City hardcore uh, stuff. Not like the beatdown stuff, which exists here too. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't identify with it really. But yeah, more akin to the stuff I put the most of my time into. Um, there was less of it here at the time. A lot of great indie rock bands, a lot that still exist 10 years later here. Um, but yeah, now I like I said, the the shoegaze appreciation in the next like generation of musicians here. It makes me really happy to see, because there wasn't like terribly much of it when we first got here.
Mhm. Did you feel a kinship with them, regardless of even if they were, your cup of tea or whatever? Did you feel like, oh yeah, there's
Oh,
something
totally.
happening in this
Yeah,
area?
absolutely. For the excuse me, for the most part here, like everybody's like super nice. There's like a lot of small circles of like subgenres here, but they all seem to, for the most part, like overlap pretty decently. I mean, there's enough here to not have to rely on mixed bill shows, but they do still happen, and it's always awesome, like I don't know, like an indie rock or like shoegaze adjacent band will like open like a hardcore show. Barlow did that a couple of times, and that's really cool. It's cool to see like there's no everybody leaves when a band slightly different sounding plays and smokes a cigarette and comes back in for the band they came for. I think for the most part everybody's uh, pretty appreciative just to see live music, which is cool.
Yeah,
Support the scene, dude. That sort of
that's what
thing.
I was getting to. I was like, is he
Yeah,
gonna say it? Is
yeah,
this
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you
Support the
should,
scene, dude, is
dude.
important. You got to say
Yes,
that in it too. Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the emphasis. But yes,
Hmm.
please do go support your local scene if there is one.
Yeah, if there is one, is key. Yeah, yeah.
And if there's not,
Start one.
or support like a really niche scene. I kind of like that
Hmm.
idea too. It's like,
Hmm.
I'm really into this band from Providence.
Hmm.
I live in Hartford or whatever it
Hmm.
is, your choice. That's also pretty cool. I also endorse that. I'm trying to look for an away team to root for.
Hmm.
Maybe like Raleigh or something. I don't know, but I don't want it to be like a super happening scene. I want it to be like a very niche, like it's Wednesdays and some Thursdays that
Hmm.
shows go on. That's what I'm kind of looking for. So,
Columbus is my away team so far, or
mm,
as of late. That we've played there like 2 or 3 times in the past couple of years, and they're the nicest scene, um, like that I've encountered like straight off the bat. They got a lot of great venues out there. There's this band called Wasp Factory from there that's really good, and
good
everybody should
name,
listen to
good
them. Yeah,
name.
great band name. Yeah, 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 they're really good. Um, but
Did
yeah.
you did you feel influenced by these local bands though at that time when you came back? Was there like some sort of like, oh, I gotta start kind of making stuff and making different things?
Yeah, I think maybe just going to like more hardcore shows than like indie rock or shoegaze shows at the time made me like want to just like put more like I'm sure like subconsciously made me want to like write harder riffs even if there's like with a tremolo arm and like like a like 10 pedals or some crazy shit. But um, I'm sure that had like influence on it. I will also say I was in a band called Living World. I fronted a hardcore band called Living World when we moved back to Pittsburgh, and it's defunct as of a couple years now. I really don't have the energy to like scream and play guitar at the same time anymore. It was a lot of fun, but I think like if I'm in a hardcore band, I'm just gonna do drums because for me the easiest, and I don't have to worry about writing stuff, you know. Um, but
But
yeah,
you
yeah.
have the energy for that, but not singing and playing guitar.
I
Okay,
can't.
I
Yeah,
see
man.
where it is, Ethan.
Hang on. I can sing and play guitar. I can't scream and shout and play guitar, man.
Scream and shout and yeah, give some energy into. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
We're really clearing some stuff up, clarifying
Mm.
some information here.
I'm happy to, man.
Yeah, that was from Reddit. That one, that little snippet.
There's no way. We have a subreddit. It's like 10 members. I don't know who made it, but if you're listening, thank you for making it. It's there's
And
like
stop
one.
banning us. Stop
You're right.
banning us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you got to stop self-promoting in it. That's why. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
it's true. There's faults on both ends. Okay, we'll just say that.
I'm not the moderator on there, so I can't speak to his faults or her faults or their faults. But
This is exactly what the moderator would say, just to throw off the scent between the
dude,
moderator.
I will never be a Reddit moderator. Even on
Mm,
my, you know, I just can't do it. I'm afraid I'll get sucked in, you know. It's going to be my life, you know. It's like guys that vape and get the vape rig. It's like, oh, you're too deep, man. Like if you get the vape rig with like the big screen on it and all the numbers, and it's like you can play Snake on it or something. It's like that's how I feel about it, you know, being a Reddit mod. But
and
that,
Snake.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Do local bands still influence you today, or
Oh,
are
yeah,
you?
totally. I would say like more. I would say more of like a, oh, I got to keep up with these guys. Like they're really good. And maybe not as much on like the like influenced by their sound front, just more like influenced by like, wow, like this band. I'm like floored by uh I'm floored by this riff they came up with. I gotta like come up with something that like makes me feel as good. Not sounds like, but makes me feel as good. I'll give you an example. 40 Winks is a really, really good younger Pittsburgh band. And I'm gonna check the name of the song here real quick because the song, like the way the song ends, is like it's like the best riff I've heard from a Pittsburgh band in many years. They are really, really good, man. If you're like into Feeble Little Horse and listening to this at all, like they sound pretty similar. They're very, very good. Um, okay, the song is called Noise, and the last like minute of that song, I was just like, man, I gotta start writing like more like melodic stuff because this is beautiful. Almost moved me to tears, and I was working, so I kind of resent him for that. Actually, my boss saw it. No, I'm just kidding.
In this era, and we're talking about 2010-ish,
Sure.
right?
Hmm.
That you're coming back.
Well, no, I would say 2016 is when we moved
Oh,
back.
I'm sorry, 2016.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
Apologies to Pittsburgh.
That's
Apologies
that's
to the bands of that era. Sincerest apologies to you, Ethan.
no, that's okay, man. The stuff I was making in 2010 kind of sucked, so that's fine. I would much rather talk about the stuff from 2016.
And so would the people on Reddit, but we're not gonna bend the knee.
Yeah. All 10 members hate it.
I mean, we'll see how this clip plays on the sub, but you know,
Oh yeah, someone's gonna clip it and be like, "Look at this stupid asshole." Me, not you.
no, me. Let's you know what? Fuck it. Let's
Look,
do it. Somebody's
look at these stupid assholes.
somebody's got to be the heel. Somebody's got to be the heel, Ethan.
Yeah,
Um,
let's do it.
and so around this time, 2016,
Mm.
is Barlow in play? Is that kind of what we're
Yeah, yeah,
talking about at this point?
yeah. Barlow was like the main thing that we are doing. And that band was more shoegaze. X Pilots is more like indie rock, influenced by shoegaze.
Mm-hmm.
And Barlow, it kind of goes from like 2011 to 2021. And then X Pilots, I I didn't start it under the name X Pilots. I gave it that I kind of retconned. It was so I got to go back here.
Please. Please,
2011.
the floor is yours, sir. Whatever
Okay,
you want to
sure.
discuss, please.
So Barlow was, I'm sorry, X Pilots was called Miles of Lace, and it was just a studio project. It was just solo, just me for several years. I didn't really do anything with it. Mary, who plays keyboards and sings in X Pilots, I met Mary online in 2010, and we had a bunch of mutual interests. Photography being the main one at the time for me. But also like I was like, hey, I'm recording. Are you interested in making music at all? So there's a song on the first X Pilots record, Finley, called Summer '95. We recorded that one in 4 track in 2011. And honestly, I kind of just did nothing with it because I didn't know what to do with it until 2015. I just put a bunch of demos together, uh, and just put it on Bandcamp right before I moved back. And it was kind of just like a uh, kind of an odds and ends thing. But like I wanted to make an album called Finley for like ever. So it was just kind of like a putting a bow on it and like, see you later. I hope people like it. Um, that's the most lo-fi thing I think of I've ever put out. It's like almost entirely on 4 track. And it's an hour long. What an intro to a band, to people like, hey, here's our first release. It's an hour long, and it sounds like Vampire on Titus by GBV. It's like super super lo-fi. But yeah, so I didn't actually do anything with X Pilots like as a band function after Finley until like 2018. I decided to make another um uh release under that name, but I decided to change it to X Pilots. Um, and around 2022, I don't know if you're familiar with Smoking Room in Toner.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Great,
so
great label. And
they're fantastic. Yeah,
really, really great stuff coming out of there for sure.
Sam from Smoking Room has like an impeccable ear for this sort of thing. And we played Gaadge played a show with Toner in 2022, and if I remember correctly, he was like interested in like putting it like reissuing something for Gaadge. Um, and I said, well, we're on Crafted Sounds, which is a Pittsburgh label here. Very, very good label, that I recommend people check out their output. But I said, well, if you're interested, like I also have a project called X Pilots. It's just me and my friend Mary and my friend Nick right now. And I sent him the self-titled album that I put out in 2019. And he was like, I want to reissue this. So we reissued it. And then this band called Empath asked, like, messaged X Pilots to play a show with them here, and I like didn't want to be like, sorry, this isn't really a band, you know. So I was just like, hang on a second. So I just called everybody who was in Gaadge. And I was like, hey, can you guys like be like the band for X Pilots for a show? And they're like, yeah, sure. And the show went really, really well. And it just we just we just kept doing it because it went that well, I thought. So X Pilots is just everybody in Gaadge playing different things plus two people. There's Mary, Commandi, who I've known the longest, and then Ralph DeLulo, who is also does guitar and Speed Plans, local hardcore band. But yeah, we're a 6 piece live, and yeah. Um, Barlow, I would say, isn't currently active like for recording or playing. Like I said before, like my energy right now is just Next Pilots, um, like first and foremost. But I won't write that possibility out for doing more stuff with it.
I mean, you couldn't even say no to a band that reached out to play a show with one of your groups, let alone just
Yeah,
putting
man.
the nail in the thing.
Yeah.
I
I,
really I respect it, Ethan. I like it. You just didn't have the heart to tell them it's not really a thing anymore. You go, fuck it, let's make it a thing again.
yeah. But the other thing was I was just like I kind of secretly was like it would be really sick to play these songs live. Like songs I recorded like never expecting to play live. And I was just like, well, let's try it. Let's see how it goes. Um, but yeah. So that's where it's at currently for me. In terms of what's active. Uh X Pilots, we've got a split coming out. I don't think I'm at liberty to say who it's with yet.
Well,
They're
we'll
like
just keep it open ended. I mean, stay tuned for that new stuff coming down the line.
yeah, 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 yeah. We've got an EP that's like half recorded, and we've got a third album that's not recorded at all yet, but it's like I would say mostly written. So I would say by the end of next year, we're gonna have that split, the EP and the LP done. And now that I'm saying it here and it's like immortalized on streaming services, I got it has to be done by then. So
Putting it in writing or recording or
yeah, yeah.
however you want to look at
Well,
it.
you can transcribe I think you can transcribe like the audio on like Spotify and Apple Music. So
Yeah,
it
please don't
isn't
do that. Please do not do
it,
that.
I'm just saying in that case it isn't rating.
Don't put it down in writing. We already have it. I mean, this is enough on the line right now. Please don't add any more
Yes, yeah.
pressure to this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So, would you say that X Pilots was kind of the first band that you experienced quote unquote success with or got some recognition from?
Maybe Gaadge. That was around the same time. Because Crafted Sounds put out our first album. It was called Yeah. We recorded it right at the beginning of COVID, and it was mainly just me and Mitch from Gaadge. He plays bass in X Pilots, and he sings and writes most of the stuff in Gaadge and plays guitar. But it was, I think, and Mitch might have to yell at me later if I'm wrong about this, but I think that the entire thing was recorded in Audacity on like a computer that like was just like taking like 30 minutes to turn on. I don't know. Maybe that's why it was Audacity actually. But there's a guy here, like amazing audio engineer. And I believe he's also in a band called Good Sport. His name's Ryan Heiser, and he like somehow made that Audacity uh, album sound like it wasn't recorded on Audacity on a broken laptop. I think probably around that time we got like offers to play out of town, stuff like that. Um, I'll say X Pilots is the first like band I've written most of the stuff for and like managed most of the releases and stuff that has um like
Experience
I
some sort of
some yeah
success,
some sort of yeah
whatever that
yeah
is. Yeah,
right yeah 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 yeah. I mean we've all got full-time jobs obviously. It's like
yeah.
it
But
is what it is. Yeah.
going back to that definition of success, has that kind of changed since you first put thought into what success, quote unquote, is in music for you?
No. As long as we can just like not lose money to go out of town, like that's success to me. Like I like as long as like I'm not like as I mean that's not it, but it's just like as long as like other it's always nice to like meet people at shows out of town and they like know like even a single song of ours like is that's always sick, you know. It's very cool. It's just like cool. Thank you for like taking your like finite time like here to like listen to the stuff we're putting together. Um yeah, no, all I care about is just like having a great time with my friends and meeting new people, playing cool places. And I don't know, I guess not spending like hundreds of dollars going across the country or whatever of our own money, which is nice. Um no,
I do agree with you, Ethan. That is very
yeah,
nice. It sounds very nice.
yeah.
Um, very unachievable goals, but hey, why not have them lofty? Uh,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
do you kind of look at Gaadge as being like a jumping off point for all these other projects that are currently in the works? Do you feel like that was a push in a sense?
I would say a push. I wouldn't say it was like a jumping off point because like Smoking Room, like the roster on there is like pretty different from like the roster on Crafted Sounds. I think Feeble Little Horse had a reissue on Crafted Sounds like shortly before their second album came out. Or maybe their first. I forget. But I think it's two like pretty separate scenes. I think that when we went to California, like more people like were able to sing along to X-Pilot songs, and like when we go to the East Coast, more people know Gadd songs. Um,
But that's nice that you spread wide.
that is cool. Yeah,
You got
yeah,
something for
yeah.
everybody.
I think so. I'd like to think so. Yeah, I'd like to think so. Um,
Do you feel like you're a different musician from when these projects started to now?
oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I was way more concerned with like um I mean it was like necessity at the beginning to record on 4 track. Uh like at the beginning of Barlow, like we kind of like we had like Windows XPs that our like parents had to use, and they were like mad at us for, or at least my parents were like, I need the family computer. So like having like a separate device was cool to do that, but then it was just like, okay, we have to keep recording on 4 track because like we have to keep the sound going or whatever. Um, but I care a lot less about that now, at least in terms of like recording fidelity. I mean, I recorded like most stuff on Logic now with I demo on my 424 still, but for the most part, I just record on the computer. But it's like pretty low budget stuff. I have a PreSonus like tiny little interface. So it's very mid-fi, and I like to keep it that way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I guess I just cared a lot less. Or I care a lot less now about like, oh, like it has to like sound like it's from like '92, like you know, like I don't care about that as much anymore. Um,
Was this an active change, or are changes like that inevitable if you just keep on progressing
I
with it
think
with the
for
project
I think
or
for
just songs in general?
I think for me it was inevitable, at least in the sense that I'm in 4 active bands right now, and like how much time that would take to record everything on 4 track, bounce, record more tracks, bounce, like transfer to a separate tape deck, so there's not that much generation loss. You know what I mean? It's just like I part of it's like we have less time now to like really make something like as like otherworldly sounding as possible, but that's fine, man. Like we uh at this point we get all our mastering stuff outsourced because I spend way too long doing that. Shout out Andrew Oswald in California from, I think he was in Marbled Eye. He's a really good guy. He does great work. He's done a couple stuff, a couple things for us. Um, but yeah, I mean, like in terms of necessity, maybe. Um, uh, like outside of time, maybe it would be nice to have enough time to record everything on 4 track like we used to. But um, Logic Logic does a good job at making like a solid like sound that's a step up, you know. And I think it's like you also have to like be a little more creative with the stuff you do. It's really easy to like make a song that's like literally 3 chords on a 4 track because it's like the texture of the tape sound can really add to that, and you can kind of excuse how simple a song is, you know. And now it's like I don't know, I still write super simple songs, but I just can't be as oh yeah, the audience will like this because it's got like the cool tape sound on it. No, I got to try a little harder, and like keeping people engaged with the stuff I write.
Trying different stuff out.
Yeah, yeah. I got to do that more, man. I if I had the money, I would buy a like a reel to reel 8 track. That's always been a goal of mine. But they're getting more rare and more expensive. So maybe one day, the real thrill market will crash and I can get one for like $800 and not like $2,800.
That's what people have been saying since 2008. It'll crash.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, people were draining their 401ks to buy task cams in
Look, shit
2008.
happens. Okay, like
Yeah.
hindsight is 2020, and
Mhm.
we're just gonna push past that now.
Yeah. Hey man, hindsight is 2020. That was another terrible year. Look at
I
you,
mean,
man.
we had.
Look at your double entendres there, dude.
I know.
You're good, man.
We gotta talk about the politics eventually. Let's get into it now.
Yeah.
It's good. we're,
I
we're nice
think
and lubed up here.
yeah.
Are you surprised by what you have accomplished, not only through a specific project, but just in music in general? Are you surprised by the amount of things that you've been able to do through this creative outlet?
No, only because I don't like love all of it. Like
But who
there's
does? What
well,
artist is,
sure. I mean, sure, but like n- uh I'm not really surprised just because I know how much time I've put into like passing up things to record stuff at home. I'm like grateful that anybody I'm like I can't even explain how grateful I am like that anybody cares enough to like pay attention to any of it, frankly. But in terms of how much there is, I mean, it's not that much. It's just like either way, it's just like I remember almost every like excuse me. I remember almost every release that we've worked on. Um, and I don't know. I guess short answer, yeah. Or short answer, no. But long answer, uh,
also no, but with a little bit of zhuzh on it?
yeah. Also, no. But what I just said for 30 seconds. If you
All
can't,
right, fair enough.
if you can't tell, I like talk in circles a lot. I'm trying to get better at that.
No, Ethan, I like it, man. This has been going pretty smooth up until this point with this next question, but we had
Okay,
a
let's
good
go.
run.
All right, let's do it.
Does every project, maybe not even that you're currently in or is currently active, but every project that you've been a part of, do they tend to influence one another? Does one kind of push another one, and that one pushes the a third one, and so on and so forth? Or do you keep this pretty separated? Like this is this and this is that, and they have nothing to do with one another. In
I
some
tr
cases, perhaps.
I try to keep it as separate as possible. Like I said, if we're counting Barlow, there's three bands that I've like written a lot for. And that would be Barlow, X Pilots, and Sober Clones. And I think each are pretty distinct. Barlow again was like a more like four-track shoegaze project. X Pilots is uh I mean it kind of it's tough to describe X Pilots because it is just like alternative rock, indie rock, like lo-fi to mid-fi with like a with like a definite like uh like mid-career era Husker Du influence and like a pretty hefty like MBV influence. But it's a little more subdued. It's more just like harder riffs that happen to have like a tremolo arm on it. Sober Clones is like the more it's like a total uh smorgasbord, I would say. I write I would say there's like three like chief songwriters in that band. That's me, George and Alex. George and Alex write a lot of like I would say probably most of it at this point, and I like help write the lyrics and help write the vocal melodies and stuff. That's more like Cleaners and Venus, R. Stevie Moore, um, uh, at times even like Funkadelic, exploration of that sort of thing. That project I think is like easily like way more uh like uh like separate from Barlow, X Pilots, and Gaadge. Um, but no, I don't. I really do like each thing that I work on having its own distinct like universe or whatever of sound, where it's like you can tell that something's different. I don't know how much you're into like Bob Mold stuff, but like I feel like Husker Du and Sugar, like you can like aside from the fidelity, you can like totally tell like which band is which. They sound very different, but like, it's like clearly also still Bob Mold. His guitar playing, his vocals are still very much the same person. Um, in the hardcore bands, it's like that's the hardcore bands I'm in. It's like it's not going to influence the other stuff naturally. So, but
So some of you, whatever sound or whoever you are as a music, not just you, but just musicians in general, I think that possibly for most cases, if not all, that a little bit of them is going to be shown throughout whatever they're working on.
yeah, I'm sure that's true. And I appreciate anybody who like cares to notice that. It's I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the recording setup I've had for the past several years, it might be like um identifiable, like that sound, because it's like Barlow and X Pilots do sound similar in a lot of ways because we use a lot of the same equipment.
Hmm.
Um with Gaadge too, the earlier stuff, because Mitch recorded some stuff at my house, like I was saying earlier. So that stuff sort of bleeds through. Um
Does one
but
hand wash the other in terms of inspiration for songs?
for X Pilots and Gaadge,
I would, or all of them, if all of them fall into that category.
I'll say for I mean Mitch and Gaadge, he's one of my best friends. I mean everybody in the bands I'm in are one of my best friends because I spend the most time with them except for my fiance. But Mitch especially, like he'll show me a new song for Gaadge and I'll be like, man, I gotta like try to like make something for X Pilots. Like that's cool. That cool, you know.
Going back to that influence thing they were referring to earlier.
Yeah. I would say me and Mitch. I don't know how he feels about it, but for me, definitely, I try to like not one up him, but I gotta be like, it's the same as seeing other like bands locally. It's like, man, I gotta try to make something that cool, you know. But
Yeah.
Mitch is a great songwriter. Gaadge rules, and I can say that because I don't write any music for it. Mitch, Nick, and Andy are the head of that helm.
And
Um,
cannot say such
yeah,
a statement.
if they said Gaadge ruled, I would be like, you look ridiculous right
Who do you think you are saying
now.
that?
Yeah.
Do you look at making music as more of an individual process or a collaborative process?
I mean, it dep for like it really depends on what it is. Like Sober Clones is like totally collaborative. At least when I come in, because like I said, Alex and George write most of the stuff at this point. I write like a few songs on each release now. But like Alex and George are full of like insane ideas. And I'd like just like submitting suggestions like what if we made this part shorter? What if we had a vocal melody that sounds like this here? Um
You're Rick Rubin, right? Right, right.
yeah, dude, I love bricks. I love walls of sound. I love big beards. X Pilots, like when we started doing this as a band project and not like a solo project, and it's changed a little bit for the new for the newer releases. There's more songs from other members like written by them on there. But at first it was just like I kind of like dropped a stack of demos at them and I was like, which of these do you like? Um, and they helped me like whittle it down to a track list. I would say for X Pilots, I still like uh the bulk of the like I guess I don't want to say control or whatever, but it's like I typically assemble the albums. I assemble the track lists and releases. Um, I feel like I'm really good at that, and I want to keep doing that, if they'll let me. But yes, collaborative for sure. But it's just like it varies. There's a different um, like I guess work atmosphere between the projects. Um, whereas like, like Natchy Nancy, a band where I write nothing and I'm happy about that because I can just show up and learn the songs. That's just straight up like fun. It's a fun process. We can go out of town, play shows, play songs that have already been written and recorded by somebody else, and it's great. It's great.
You say so. Uh,
Hmm.
it's a joke, Ethan. It's a joke. Please, I don't want you to yell at me this time. It's just this is the comedy cellar over here. All right.
What are those tapes on your wall? Are they all Richard Pryor tapes?
Yes, yes. And just doubles if they all, if one
Yeah,
runs
yeah.
out, I
I
can put
see
in another one.
yeah, I see that whole like row of white tapes. I bet that's all the same Richard Pryor cassette, huh?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
all, yeah, Richard Pryor. And then it breaks with Lenny Bruce right at the end there.
Oh, yeah, with the red one. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like my you can't see it from here, but
Yeah, this is a good
yeah.
thumbnail. You pointing at yours, me pointing at mine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think almost one full row there is Guided by Voices cassettes. Um and I mean if you can't tell, that's my favorite band. I think they're the best band in the world.
I wouldn't have thought that you would have said that, but I'm glad that the jury's out on that. Now, let me ask you this,
Yeah.
Ethan, what is your main mode of listening to music nowadays? Is cassette or vinyl or any physical media, or is it more streaming on the phone? And where are you consuming music that you're not playing? Where is this in the context of your life outside of making music?
It's unfortunately mostly on my phone at this point in
Hmm.
headphones. I'm I'm luckily in a position at my job where like I can just have an earbud in like all day, uh, and just like listen to new music while I'm doing my job. I do of course I still buy physical media. I buy a record. Second, I would say vinyl. I have I would have to move my laptop to show you, but I've got a bunch of records down here.
I trust you.
Um,
I do. I mean,
Thank
you
you.
have you have pulled out two pieces of what you have been talking about previously. So I'm just gonna you've earned my trust, Ethan.
What was the second one?
First was the Korg.
Yeah.
Second one, didn't you pull up something? Did you pull up yeah, whatever's on your right there? Maybe not. Maybe you just alluded to it and I bought it then. Maybe I'm just being
I think
gullible.
well, this is my other four track that I currently use. It's a 424.
So then what we will just put that in as the second piece that it's occurring now. Also good. That's for the Instagram.
Okay, all right,
Just a
cool.
little, yeah. I'm
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 down,
I'm
man.
I'm glad that we got these all out of the way now. When you were a kid, what was the main mode of consuming music? Would this have been CDs?
Yeah, yeah, you have a great brain to
Thank you, sir.
deduce that. I assume we're the same age. I assume we're the same age. We probably I was five and I forget what they were called exactly. It might have just been like I don't know, it was like some sort of CD club that my mom was a part of. Like
Hmm.
you would like get like it was like $10 a month or some insanely cheap amount and they would send you like six random CDs every month. Um I think that's how I found Everclear. I think that's how I found the Boss Tones even.
The mighty
Um
ones or the subpar boss tones?
the mighty ones.
Ah,
Come on.
had to clarify. Had to
Dude,
clarify.
I was five. I was too old for the little ones.
Right, but and
Yeah.
you and this leads into the next question. You are not participating in but uplifting the new wave of ska that is coming up shortly, right?
Is it coming up shortly?
I That was my next question, but since you're not a part of it, I will inform everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Ska's coming back. We're doing top part zoot suit, bottom part jorts.
Oh
So
man. Who
we're
did
putting a little pizzazz on it this time.
yeah. I love the Boss Tones. I just had Let's Face It when I was a kid. But I like much later got into other stuff. Devil's Night Out's great. Like they're the much harder earlier stuff is cool. Um yeah, no, Zoot Suits, I think I'm too small to wear those. Aren't they like huge? Aren't they like David Byrne like size? They're like Hawaiian shirts, but they're like enormous with like big puffy shoulders. I think I would look like a goblin on acid if I wore one of those, you know?
I like I like that that was what you went towards and the imagery behind it. This is
Yeah.
this is going pretty well, Ethan.
Yeah, the shoulders would have to be huge, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
the shoulders are
Yeah.
notoriously big.
Yeah.
And thus with this new wave, whatever wave of ska that is going to be, there's
Yeah.
no, term to it yet, but it's going to be like, I don't know.
Neo ska.
I like it.
Like neo psychedelia.
Yeah. So it has to have a name, and we're figuring that out. And
Yeah.
we'll
I'm
we'll send
actually
we'll send you over the suit after this. We'll get your measurements, and
okay,
we'll be
man.
sending it over.
Yeah.
I get the
What
cherry poppin' daddies and such.
okay, they did Zoot Suit Riot, right?
I believe that that is them. Yes,
I was
could be
trying to
wrong,
remember
but yeah,
I was trying to remember the name of the band and I was gonna be like Cherry Pop and Daddies, and if I got it wrong, that would sound so insane for me to just say those three words.
it
And
sounded
like
insane then, and it does
I
not
know,
sound
right?
great
Yeah.
now.
I'm just saying like I was gonna say Zoot Suit Riot, because Weird Al parodied that as Grapefruit Diet. And I remember being four and hearing that. And I was like, oh, the Cherry Pop and Daddies. It's a parody of. My mom was like, do not put that away. Like, don't look at that. It's a terrible band name, dude. It's the worst band name in the world.
How many meetings do you think there was with them? It's like, guys, can we please change it to something else?
No, dude, you saw what they were wearing. They all loved it. You
They loved it.
they
The
like
the label and
I
they're
don't
probably surprised at like, are you kidding? Why is this being licensed so
yeah.
much?
Hey man,
Uh,
Butthole Surfers got a record deal with I think Capitol or Island or Elektra or one of those big ones.
a bigger establishment. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
and the Butthole Surfers were way bigger than the Cherry Poppin' Daddies. I wonder why. That's just a terrible dude. Like, okay, no, hang on a second. There's no way that band could have survived like beyond 2001. Actually, like, what have they? If they had a different name, even like that band is like, uh, it was made for their era. There's no
It's a product
way.
of their time. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I had CDs growing up. I loved cassettes too. My mom actually, she was into like the Smiths and REM in high school in the Sundays, and she had made like C90s of like I think one of them was like one side was like Reading, Writing, Arithmetic by the Sundays, and one side was Out of Time by REM. And I remember listening to that one a lot when I was like 5 or 6. I just liked media, like having any physical media, and just like looking through the lyric book, uh, uh, pretending like it was my band or something. When I was like 5 or 6, I was like, I want to be you too, dude. You know, I had that album Pop. I think everybody hates that album. It's got discotheque on it. I remember I had that when I was 5 years old, and I was like, I am gonna be Bono in like 20 years, and I'm glad I'm not.
Still time.
No, dude, there's no, that's not happening. I don't want to.
I think much like fashion and such.
Do you want to be Bono?
No, but wouldn't mind being the edge. Just as a little consolation there.
You know what? That dude is cool. That dude is cool.
And I can't think of another member, or else I would have pulled them out at this point.
I I think it's like other like there's Bono, the Edge. I think the drummer's named like Styx or something. Like I think like only one of them has like a normal name and not a stage name, and I think the drummer might be the one that has another. I don't think it's Styx. That's like there's no way. That'd be so funny though. That's like sillier than like the
The
Edge.
edge, yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
Uh,
it's kind of hard to top that actually.
yeah,
Like
yeah, it's yeah.
if you're like in Cro-Mags or something and you name yourself the Edge, like okay. Like all right.
More
Like
suitable.
yeah. But if you're like in like but I still it's like you the Edge. Yeah, sure, man.
Conversely, with a stage name, you're obviously trying to define yourself as a certain way, kind of differently in most cases. If you're the guy with just the legal name standing up there, you are achieving that goal with you too. If you're just like, yeah, I'm
Right.
Brad
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
stage, I'm Brad on stage, you are achieving that in that circle.
I almost said Joe Strummer, but no,
I think that, yeah, they
wrong.
did that.
Wrong decade, even. I think.
They did that album together.
Did they?
Quite a
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
an album.
It was U2's reggae era that overlapped with theirs.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Actually, Cherry Pop and Daddies, conversely, they cited that album specifically as that was the motivation for them. Um, Let
Yeah.
me ask you this, Ethan.
Yeah.
Is there an album that shouldn't have been made in your opinion, or you just really do not like for whatever reason?
Um, I was looking at my records to see if I had an album that I hate. I don't think I do.
Well, that's good. I'm glad
um,
that we're starting there.
let me
Or more specifically, is there a song that you just don't need to hear again?
that I like love or
No,
like
no, no, that you do not enjoy at all, and it keeps on occurring every once in a while, and every time you hear it, you go, yeah, that could be eliminated from the playlist.
yeah, what's that one song that's like up, throw my hands up in the air sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, let me think about more. Let me more real answer to that.
Because everyone has those songs of like, yeah, that's ran its course.
I think probably Cherry Pie by Warrant.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
I don't
good
I
pull.
I don't know
Mhm.
why that's maybe it's because I was watching Rock of Love again kind of recently. I know that Bret Michaels was in Poison, not Warrant, but it just made me think of that song, and I think that song just like makes me like angry.
Yeah,
Like something about the swing of it is just like how dare you? I don't know, like it's like shut up, like this
I
is
would I would also say that is in my list of that. I don't need to hear that song
yeah,
again.
it's like anybody's like great grandpa like standing in front of their like Corvette they will never drive and looking at it. That's what that song makes me think of.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
it's good. It's good visual representation of that.
and he's got like pinups from like 50 years ago on the wall. You can't even see like the person the woman's outline.
It's faded.
It's yes, it's so faded. It's like hilarious. I hate that song. Albums,
I mean, that's kind of a tougher question there, but
mhm.
I will say this, Ethan Warrant, Cherry Pie does not. I don't need to hear that song again.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's
That can leave.
yeah. You should listen to it.
No, I don't think I need to. I think I heard it. I think I know how it goes.
Yeah,
We all know the beats,
yeah.
but good for them for making the money off of it. Um,
I'm sure they all have great, successful lives because of that stupid ass song. Good for them.
Good for them.
I'm happy for them.
I wonder if songs that like Cherry Pie, for instance, I mean, you always hear of what we would define as better musicians not liking hit songs of theirs, right? They always
Oh
go,
yeah.
"Oh, I don't want to play that song," even though everybody loves that song and is hoping that we're going to play it. I
Hmm.
wonder if the reverse is true for Warrant, for example, that they're like, we want to play Cherry Pie. Like they're like, we want to bring this to the stage. We cannot wait until because that that's the closer. They're not opening
Yeah,
up with Cherry
right,
Pie.
dude. Yeah, yeah. I don't know anything about I don't even know the name of anybody in Warrant, and I only have heard that album Cherry Pie that the title track is from, but I guarantee you that yes, you're right. I guarantee you it was like, yeah, let's play some Cherry Pie like every night, twice. Thrice.
One at the beginning, middle, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you have so
Everybody goes to smoke a cigarette. Like everybody goes to smoke like 10 cigarettes between every playing of it. A stadium.
yeah, they're doing their stadium tour.
Yeah.
Is there songs that you don't like playing out of your discography for whatever band? Is there one that you're like, I would rather not play that one?
Um, I only there's this song on our the X Pilots album Motel Cable called Silver Sword. I'm really happy with that song. It's like one of the more like straightforward like indie rock songs with I think a pretty hard chorus. But it is like because we tuned to F standard and when I wrote it in E standard and when we recorded it I was like, "Oh, this is like really hard to sing in this register this high."
Hmm.
So I like had to record like the vocals for that song in like 10 clips because it's like multiple vocals. It's just so high to sing. Like probably when I was younger, I could have done it easier. I like playing it live, but it's like it always has to be at the beginning of the set because like if I try doing it like towards the end of the set, I'm just like gonna like do it. I'm gonna have to like do it a octave down, and that would just sound stupid, extremely stupid.
So
That's
that's more of a difficulty thing, not that you don't want to play it because of whatever. It's just
oh
literally
yeah, yeah.
that just takes takes
At
some
least
time to
yeah,
figure out.
at least everything for X Pilots, like the stuff that I hate, like just hasn't come out. You know, like stuff that I've made, I just like I kind of do take like a really long time to put stuff out. Like I mean, relatively speaking, just because it's like literally like a lot of me sitting where I'm talking to you, like this with these headphones on, like listening to it over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like a 35-minute album, and it's like I like, but at that point, I second guess myself constantly. But in terms of like a song that like is released now. I'm like pretty happy with everything we've done with X Pilots so far.
Because it's gone through that filter.
Yeah, like a maddening filter, but like still like I'm glad that I mean probably for the best that like people don't hear like undercooked crap, you know. Um, but yeah, I guess like my answer to that question in short is like it really just does come down to like set list placement of songs.
Hmm.
Because my voice like I've got like a naturally like super high voice. I don't know what my actual I don't know it's tenor or something. I don't know if that's too high or too low. I don't know anything about anything, dude. But but yeah, it's
Well, I
just
appreciate you coming on the podcast to talk about that, Ethan.
yeah, yeah. Hey man, absolutely. Hey guys, in short, this guy doesn't know anything about anything. That's yeah, that's the summary of our
Clip
talk
that.
there.
Clip that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I do have one more final question for you though
yeah, yeah,
before we start
absolutely.
wrapping it up.
Yeah, totally.
What inspires you to keep creating new music with all these fields that you're a part of? Is there a singular driving force, or is there a couple of different things? What is that for you?
Um, I really just love having like this is like the one thing that I've always known that like I don't want to sound like sappy or whatever, but it's like it's like since I got that DAW like from my grandpa like forever ago. I mean, it was like super limited, but it was like I have to keep doing this. This is so fun. Like it's great. It's the yeah, it is the one thing that I like I do like thoroughly think like if I tried to stop, I will never stop. I couldn't. It's just like I like by the time we're done with like the third album, I'm sure that like we'll have like a quarter of the fourth album written. It's I don't know, man. I don't really have a I don't have like a concise enough answer for you as I would like to, unfortunately. It's
That's
just like
fine. That's fine.
yeah,
Whatever the answer, there's no correct answer, Ethan.
sure, yeah.
Whatever you
Yeah.
think it is.
I appreciate it. It's just been like this feels so good to do and like so fulfilling as an outlet and like just like I hear things, I hear songs. I've always heard songs and been like I like I like aspire to make somebody else feel the way this made me feel. Um yeah, I really do think it just does come down to just I've been doing this stuff for so long that I don't see a way out of it, and I'm happy. I'm happy I don't, you know. Um,
That's great.
thanks.
Not the
That,
answer I wanted. No, I'm just kidding. That was
dude.
fantastic, Ethan. That was great, man. And I really appreciate you coming on here. I really do, sir. So thank you
Absolutely,
so much,
absolutely,
Ethan. But before we
totally.
let you go, we got the promo stuff to do. We got a lot of stuff in the works, and we got to talk about it all.
Yeah, totally.
Ex Pilots, Gaadge, Barlow, and Sober Clowns music is streaming everywhere. Did I miss any of the other ones? By
There's Nasty Nancy as well.
Nasty
That's the
Nancy.
yeah, yeah,
That
it's
was one I
yeah,
missed at the top, and I still didn't learn my
yeah.
lesson. Could you believe
No
that?
worries, no worries. It's okay, it's okay. Again, like I don't write anything for it. I just kind of show up and play, and I love it.
But
But yeah,
nevertheless, that is something else that you are involved with that people can go check out, and it's everywhere. Wherever people get their music, that's where they can find all of your music. And
totally.
um, the links to whatever all these projects have, the social media links, the merch links, if there are any, whatever is associated with the band will be linked below whatever people are listening to this on. So scroll on down. I mean, there's enough music for everybody. So whatever you like, there's probably something there for it. So go ahead and dive in. Now, do we have anything else to promote, Ethan? Is there anything coming up that people should be looking out for within like the next 2 weeks? A show, perhaps?
Um, yeah. Next week we'll be playing with Mopar Stars in United Stair at Ormsby in Pittsburgh. Mopar Stars, an amazing Philly band. I think if anybody listening likes Big Star, uh, probably Guided by Voices, anything adjacent to, like 70s, 80s power pop, you will love Mopar Stars, and I'm really stoked to play with them finally. Um, and Gaadge, we are opening for Mama next month at Mr. Smalls, I think June 5th. And Sober Clones, we've got a release that is we're just waiting to get the tapes back right now. I hope the guys we haven't formally announced it yet, but I don't think it matters. Whatever, who cares? It's going to be
We're
called Red.
breaking it now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be called Red Disc. It's 6 songs, our first release in 3 or 4 years. I think it's our highest quality, like fidelity wise collection of songs. I think we're all like beyond stoked about it. Again, like Sober Clones, if you're into like Cleaners from Venus, R. Stevie Moore, uh, um, stuff like that, I think you'll dig it. And I think that's well, X Pilots. This is beyond 2 or 3 weeks from now, but
yeah.
X Pilots. We've got, like I said earlier, we've got a split recording right now with. I won't say who. You'll see. It'll come out soon. And we're mostly done with an EP, and we are currently writing a third LP. Again, like I said, all three of those will and should and will should and will be out by the end of next year. Um, and I don't want to speak too much for Gaadge because Mitch is at the helm of that, but we are active. They are actively recording, writing songs, and I'm recording them too. So I would say expect another Gaadge release in the not too distant future because we've got a lot of stuff that we are looking to put out.
Fantastic. Ethan, I cannot thank you enough, sir.
Thank
I
you,
really
Jacob.
appreciate you coming on here. Uh,
Absolutely.
I'm going to stop recording this. I'll talk to you in a minute. All right.
Sure. All right. Thanks, Jacob.